Hello everyone. So my followers have asked me, how do you do model ports? And in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to do so. First, we'll need the following software: Blender, source plugin for Blender, any text editing program, Crawlbar, the software for model compilation, and VTF Edit, program for creating textures and materials for source models. Link to these programs you can find in the description. Now, let's proceed to the first step. If you're new to Blender, here's how to install the plugin. Select Edit, Preferences, Install, then find your Blender source archive. Once you install it, you need to find the source in the search bar, and you'll have Import and Export Blender source tool. You need to leave a checkmark on it in order to make it work. Now that we have plugin installed, we can proceed to our model. Now that we have plugin installed, we can proceed to export our model. As you can see, I already have the model that I was about to export. In my case, it's the
brand new Top Gear cockometer.
So, once your model is ready to export, make sure its meshes are in the same collection group, as you can see here. Now, to export our model, we need to select Scene Properties, Source Engine Export. As export format, select SMD. By default, you're going to have DMX, but do SMD. Then we need to select the export path of our model. Now that everything is set, we can simply just press Export, select our group, and voila! Our mesh just has been exported to the SMD format. Now that our model is exported, we can finish with Blender for now and move to the next step. Some of you may be thought that we're done here, but no, we need to compile our model first. To do so, we need to write the compilation file, aka the QC file. It's the file that controls our process of model compilation. To create it first, we need to open any text editing software. In the description I'm gonna leave you an example of the QC file and what each attribute means. Now, we need to open Crawlbar, and first thing we need to do is head up to the Setup Games section. They select all the executables files that SFM use, except one, the model compiler. The thing is, model compiler we have is limited in terms of verses and material limit, so we're gonna use the simplified version of it. Link to the latter will be in the description. Once we downloaded the model compiler, we need to go to the driver Steam located, head to Steam Apps, Common, and now there we need to create Counter-Strike Global Offensive folder, and in that folder you need to create another folder named CSGO, create another folder bin, and then open the archive you downloaded. You need to extract the content of archives named as studio mdl underscore 2012 underscore libs underscore included and studio compiler 2014. In the end, it should look something like this. And then in Crawlbar, select the model compiler we just unpacked. And now we can head to the compile process. To compile your model, you need to select the QC file you just created. Also keep in mind that you need to have both SMD and QC file in the same folder, otherwise when the compilation will occur, the Crawlbar say that there's no SMD in the folder and it will just flip you off. Once we select our QC file, we need to select also our output folder. Since we're using it for the SFM, we need to select the user mod folder. Once we select it, we just press and compile, and as you can see, it's done. The length of the compilation will depend on how many verses your model have and how complex it is, but since in my case it's very simple, it didn't take that much time. Now that we're done, we can proceed to our next step. Despite the fact that we just compiled our model, there's still a thing that needs to be done. Materials. If you hurry up and open SFM and look for the model, you can notice that it's covered in famous black and purple texture. The reason for this is that our model can't load VMT files. The material file in which written path to our texture, map. Oh, we're gonna look for more in next time. To create VMT file, we need to create VTF file first, to follow the texture. To do so, we need to open VTF edit, select file, import, and then select the picture that you want to use. Now that you import it, you will have this VTF options window. You can leave it how it is and press OK, but your texture will be blurry when you're not looking at it directly. Or you can select DXT1 as normal format and DXT5 as alpha format, which should increase the quality of your texture. Now that we have our picture imported, all we need to do is select File, Save, and save in the same directory that you type in the $CD materials line in your QC file. Now that our VTF file is created, we can now create the VMT file itself. To do so, select Tools, create VMT file, and this is where it gets really important. Inside the window, just open, select Options, and then you need to select your shader. If you want your material to be always visible even in place with no lighting at all, go for only generic. But if you want to have proper material, we need to go to for vertex lit generic. Also, be aware of translucent and alpha test checkboxes. They only used in specific situations, which will be explained next time, but for now make sure you have both of them unchecked. Now, press create, and this is the most important part. Not only do you need to save in the same directory, which was typed in the CD materials line, but also you need to name it accordingly. To see how materials need to be named, go for Blender and look for the name of that material that you used for solid mesh. Now that you know the name of material, name your VMT the same way and save it. And bam! Your models finally have proper materials. Now you know how to port models not only for SFM, but any other software that uses Source Engine. How it's going to be used though, it's up to you now. There are still things that need to be covered, like driver review of VMT materials and their attributes, etc. There's also things that I need to know myself, such as shape keys, eyes, and other stuff. But for now, this is it. Hope you like my little tutorial and hope it helped you out. For now, see you next time!